Alright, so the reason that most of the time YouTubers won't talk about things such as ad block is the fact that, to put it simply, it's kind of just like a negative sponsorship. We would be in turn promoting something that would be telling people to go and make us less money. But in this case, we're dealing with something that's a little bit more important than just whether or not certain species of people make money, because of course, as you read in the title, Adblock is going to be going away. And the reason it's going away is because of a new thing which is being introduced to the whole entire World Wide Web, which is just something that's gonna basically make it impossible for you and your little nice extension right up there, which is hopefully green, to be continuing to stop advertisements from being shown to you. Now here's how this went down. About 7 years ago, when I was in like 9th grade, I was doing a presentation because it was some kind of thing I needed to do for something called school. And then there I was about to present my personal choice of academic presentation. My channel was fresh off the ground. I had a solid 92 subscribers going for me, and things were looking really good. So I decided to give myself a shout out, and I stood up there and I basically said, ads good, ad block bad. And it's true, of course, because clearly, without advertisements, you're never going to be able to see things that you might be interested in the world. You're never going to find out interesting information, things that could actually help your life. And of course, none of the people that make anything for the internet that you constantly enjoy will ever be able to get anywhere and make anything in return. And that's why there's absolutely no downside. In opposite world, of course, because there is. Now, obviously, of course, that was the mindset that I had as, like, a 14-year-old in high school, just starting a YouTube channel and having the aspiration to want to just make a living off of YouTube. And nothing really changed. The only difference is, of course, learning the way things actually work, dealing with scams throughout recent years, and just seeing the depths of how far they go and just how they work. Specifically, of course, through utilizing things like directly dangerous things, which are just transmitted straight through friendly little ads that you'll see just throughout your time on the internet. And that is why things like Adblock has been created, overall to, well, prevent you from becoming a victim of that. 40% of the internet uses it. I can guarantee there's probably about a 20 to 40% chance you have it. Hopefully green on this video. YouTube even made their own little thing called YouTube Premium, and it's been just one big stalemate essentially this entire time. The fight between platforms that make things and the ad blocking programs. But now, things have changed. Google, you know, the thing that owns the internet, has decided to come out with a whole new thing called Manifest v3. So if you aren't familiar with the way this whole thing works, imagine Unity, like the engine of a game, or just the engine of your car. Let's just put it that way. When you turn the key, it turns on. That's how gas comes out of your car and you go. Well, now imagine that the basic engine of the internet is something called Manifest. It's like what all browsers use. This entire time, it's been Manifest v2, and all of the ads that can run on the internet are running off of that. That's why things like Adblock that have been created have been 100% designed to work on that Manifest 2. So if you want to put this in Call of Duty terms, basically there's just no more Call of Duty, because Activision just deleted the entire game engine. Oh, but I use Opera GX, and that's why I'll be able to keep blocking ads. Hate to break it to you, champ, but nearly every single browser is in some way connected to Google and Google's framework of, well, the entire internet. It's like the ultimatum, the killing shot. There's a fine line between having programs that give you the ability to block ads and giving people the responsibility of being able to decide how they want to use that tool, and of course, be nice enough to set it aside for the content that they support, and straight up restricting everyone from having any ability to be safe from all of this crap, just for the sake of, money. Well, don't worry, because I got cryptocurrency, and that's why I have Bat browser. So I'm safe on there. Yeah. Now sure, yes, you can go out and find some new obscure browser made by some 16-year-old as a school project off of Onion. But then you just might find yourself in a world of other problems to worry about. So at the end of the day, there's really just no way around this. And most of these scam ads are targeted towards people who are vulnerable in the way of not knowing the difference between, of course, what's legitimate and what's not. We're talking about billions of dollars in the mix here. So of course, what you have left is just some shallow promise that's made by companies like Google themselves by saying that, well, with this new engine of the internet, it's going to be far more secure, and we're going to make sure nothing bad ever happens on it anyway, so you don't have to worry. You're going to be safe from all of this stuff. And we all know that that's just simply not true. So, sorry, Dallas from The Office, but you aren't entirely correct. Now, will there be new programs, of course, that come out which will take the place of what used to be the ad block of this internet? Clearly there will be, and that's like not the main issue. The problem is, of course, you're just essentially allowing the world of scams and the market of taking advantage of people free real estate for the entire world, which is the main thing that's gonna ruin, essentially, the internet here. None of this should be taken lightly, so more YouTubers should talk about this. Money and revenue that's just generated, of course, through all of this is not more important than keeping this entire World Wide Web a decently safe and enjoyable place to be on. But either way, as for you, really the best power that you can have is just knowledge. So if you want to know how to stay safe, especially in a vulnerable time that we're obviously going to go through now because of this, then I'd recommend checking out the playlist called Scammers on my channel, because scammers aren't good. And in that series, it's basically edutainment on how to prevent yourself from being scammed by, you know, comedically showing how they work and just messing around with them at the same time. So go help yourself to a nice serving of some of that I can give you in that playlist. So yeah, I just thought I would make this video talking about this, since the issue is actually something that's pretty important. In the meantime, if you want yourself free 10 years of good luck, you can go about 2 inches below this screen and make the button down there gray, if it isn't already. My name is Dallas, aka Infernus, and hopefully an ad won't cut off the transition from this commentary into the outro. Okay? Well, I think it's good. Goodbye.